Hi everyone, today I'm giving you 3 tips to help you reduce your intake in sodium. According to a recent report published by Health Canada, Canadians still consume too much sodium. We consume less than before, but still too much. Sodium is an essential nutrient when consumed in adequate amounts, but an excess of sodium can lead to hypertension, which is an important risk factor of cardiovascular disease and stroke, which are the leading cause of death in the world and the second cause of death in Canada. Some people, such as athletes, have higher needs in sodium to replace sweat losses, but in general, our needs are 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day, which corresponds to only 2/3 of a teaspoon of salt. So it's really not a lot. Canadians consume about double of that amount. It could be helpful to limit adding salt to your food, but it's not enough because most of our intake in sodium, 3/4 of our intake, comes from processed foods such as soups, breads, processed meats, combined foods such as pizza and cheese. So here are 3 tips. First, limit your intake of processed foods and fast foods. Cook at home with fresh ingredients. Second, read labels. So ideally, when you look at a label, you want to look at the sodium and you want to try to choose a product that contains less than 5% of sodium or less than 110 milligrams. You'll find that might be hard to find products that low in sodium. So even if they contain 8% or less than 200 milligrams, it's still a pretty good choice. The goal is basically to be aware of the amount of sodium in the foods that you eat and to try to limit the amount. And third, be also careful about your serving size. So it's one thing to choose a food that's high in sodium, but your intake will also depend of the serving size of the portion that you eat. So if, for example, like me, you really like cheese, the point is not to not eat cheese. It's more to eat a reasonable portion. So don't hesitate to share this video and to leave us your comments.